So I don't know that I've done a video with this setup at this time of day, but as you can see, the sun is coming in through the blinds, which are utter garbage, and in all honesty, I should probably hit up the landlord and be like, hey, I need new blinds, but that would require me letting the landlord into my apartment, which is one of the things I hate doing the most in this world, so it's something that I don't do. But anyway, yeah, so that's what this is, in case you're like, what's going on with it's the sun is coming in through the blinds. Yeah. Anyway, roll the thing. Hey guys, Sean here. So here's the deal. This week's video was supposed to be me going around Kamikaze, aka Los Angeles Comic Con, which, if you've seen the videos, I hate calling it that, because the entire reason that they changed the name to Los Angeles Comic Con is so that people would be able to say, hey, I went to Comic Con, even though Comic Con generally refers to San Diego Comic Con. Not the point of the video. So here's what happened. Last weekend was the first weekend in I don't know how long where I had both days off. And when I woke up on Saturday morning, I really felt that. I was like, I could totally sleep in right now because at least I have tomorrow to go to the convention and I don't have to worry. So I think I'm just gonna do that. And I think I ended up getting up at like 1 o'clock because my goodness was I exhausted. Or maybe it was like, no, actually now that I think about it, it was like 10 o'clock, and then I was thinking about it and I'm like, well, by the time I get to the convention center, it'll be 1 o'clock. That's what it was. And if I got to the convention center at 1 o'clock, there would be no parking left. I would have no idea how to deal with that. And it was just such a major hassle. And so I just decided, okay, I'm not going to go Saturday, I'll go Sunday. So at some point on Saturday, I ended up finding about the LA Sports Equinox that was going to be happening on Sunday. So what exactly is that? Well, there was going to be an NFL game, an MLB game, an NHL game, an NBA game, and a Major League Soccer game, all happening within Los Angeles. And if you live in a town where major sporting events happen, then you know that being anywhere around those things, it makes traffic just unbearable, and getting in and out of that area just a major pain. And so, two of these things, the NBA game and the NHL game, were both happening at the Staples Center. One was earlier in the day and one was later in the day. The Staples Center is literally right next door to the Los Angeles Convention Center where the Comic-Con was going on. And so as a result of that, I ended up not even bothering going anywhere near that part of town on Sunday. So for the second convention in a row, I'm going to have to throw up a big old goose egg on the convention board. Now, interestingly enough, I actually ended up going to a convention yesterday. But, for two reasons, I cannot show you any footage of that. Number one, when I was getting close to going into the door, one of the security guys was like, hey, that camera you have on your backpack, the one that I talked about in the previous video, the one that is on my backpack that I was going to use to walk around the convention, he was like, you can't come in with that. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, they've been turning people away with those, so you're going to have to take it back to your car. And I'm like, I just waited in a long line to get in. And he was like, well, sorry, you're gonna have to take it back to your car. That's great. So I went back to my car, and then when I came back to the line, it had quadrupled isn't enough. It had probably grown by 500 to 600 people. because I think they moved people from another line just somewhere that was off to the side, back around to this line. And it had, like, I would have been standing in that line for about 2 or 3 hours if I had gotten to the end of that. I didn't even see where the end of the line was by that point. So what I did is I just walked back up to the guy that sent me back to my car, and I was like, remember me, you told me I had to go take the camera back to my car, and I'm back here now, and the line has grown to a ridiculous amount, and I already waited in the line. Could you just let me in? And he was nice enough to do so, so that was good. And secondly, I can't show you any footage of that convention because of what the subject of that convention is, because of my job. I can't tell you about it because it's like E3, where it's video game based, but it's even more specific. So, I mean, some of you should be able to figure out what that means, like what convention I'm talking about, but yeah, because of my job, I can't tell you anything about it. I had a good time. I had a really good time, but yeah, I wasn't able to use the camera anyway and do any of the things that I wanted to do at the LA Comic-Con, at Kamikaze, and so it would have been useless anyway. Oh, but here's the thing that really, it really pissed me off, was that later in the day, I saw a guy walking around with a backpack. On the shoulder strap of the backpack, he had the exact same camera, like right on it. And so that was irritating. But as I was saying, in the long run, I couldn't have actually used the footage anyway, so it ended up being better. I just ended up leaving my entire backpack in my car at that point, because I'm like, there's no reason to have this. Oh, and then once I left that, I went to Hollywood and Highland and went to a party, a work party at the Avalon, and that is why my voice sounds so strange right now, because it was really loud and you had to pretty much yell to hear anything. So yeah, I had a very tiring day yesterday. And in actuality, I was originally planning on doing something today that would be even more tiring with the day yesterday thrown on top of it. So luckily that got pushed to tomorrow, and hopefully that will be next week's video. So there's something to look forward to next week. But that closes out the conventions for this year. We'll see what happens next year. I don't know if I'm going to go to as many next year as I did this year. We'll just have to see what happens. But let me know in the comments down below. Did you go to Kamikaze, aka LA Comic-Con? Did you go on Sunday? And did the LA Sports Equinox seem to make any difference at all in getting in and out of the area that I was so afraid of happening? Did you take an Uber like a sane person, or a Lyft like an even more sane person, because Lyft is a much better company than Uber? And if so, who did you see? Who were you excited to see? What did you get? Anything you want to talk about the convention if you went to it, let me know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you'd like to see more of the crazy crap that goes on around here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to help support the crazy crap that goes on around here, go ahead and hit up my Patreon. And with that, have a good however long it is until you watch my next video.